All right, draft fans, we're back with another prospect film session interview. Today we're joined by one of the many great linebackers at Ohio State the past couple of years, Tuf Borland. And that's actually how I want to start this. So many good linebackers there at Ohio State, man. Like, there's four of you in this class, I think, alone. Malik Harrison from last year as well. How tough was getting the playing time with all those guys in that group?
No, I mean you come to Ohio State to compete with the best, and that's really what it was throughout my time at Ohio State. Is you truly have to earn everything that you get on and off the field, and I just tried to go out and earn the respect of my teammates and my coaches, and it kind of worked out for me.
Yeah. How was the competition between you guys? Because I'm sure it was, you guys all obviously were teammates, so you're not going to be at each other's throats. But was the competition pretty intense between you guys in practice and stuff to get that playing time?
Yeah, I mean there were times, especially when we were younger, where didn't always see eye to eye, or things weren't always smooth. But the thing about this group that I've been so blessed to be a part of, these last 3 years is, we were competitors on the field, but we were extremely close off the field as well. So, I'm so happy that I got to spend time with those guys and learn from them, and grow as a football player.
Yeah, and you got to see them down at the Senior Bowl as well, which I'm sure was super fun being able to play alongside them. But how was that whole Senior Bowl for you? I know it's a crazy experience, man. From the off field stuff to the on field, just how was that whole experience for you?
It was awesome, especially in an unprecedented year like this one. You don't really know how many opportunities you're going to have to get in front of NFL scouts and coaches. So it was awesome to be there. I learned a lot from those coaches. Had some things that I can take away from it. But it was honestly a pretty grueling week with meetings and with obviously with teams and different groups, and as well as the practice schedule. But I'm so happy I went. So happy I had the experience. And all in all, I can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah, certainly. I've heard it's kind of like speed dating, going through the meetings with the teams. That's how I've heard it explained. I mean, is it kind of like that, just nonstop quick interviews with those teams?
Yeah. So I don't know about years past or what was different about it this year, but setting up with it this year, had divided into 2 days, 16 teams per day.
Oh shit! Okay.
So you had like 15 minutes with each team, and by the end of it, you were in there for about 4.5 hours. So 4.5 hours of nonstop interviews, but good people to talk to, and again, I enjoyed the experience.
Yeah, I bet, man. I bet. So we're going to jump into some film here because I'm sure that's what people are tuning in for. But the one thing I wanted to ask before we jumped in is I was talking to your agent the other day, and he was like, yeah, Tuf's already watching NFL film. He's already watching stuff for the league, getting ready. Who are you kind of like? Are you watching certain teams, certain players? Like, who are you kind of watching right now? Get ready for the NFL.
No, I mean, I personally, in the past, I've watched, Luke Kuechly tape, some Blake Martinez tape, just guys that I have kind of respect their game, the way that they approach it. Just so far, I've just been kind of watching from afar, just trying to pick up on certain tendencies or different things from every team. Really, there's no real order of anything. I'm just sitting down watching games.
Perfect. Hey, that's the best way to learn. That's what you got to do. You just got to throw on every single game possible and pick up on whatever you can.
Yep.
Awesome. So let me get to the share here. I want to get this off. There we go. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about a lot of run defense, obviously. You did make some plays in the pass game as well, which we're going to talk about. But I specifically am a little interested here in run defense as a linebacker because I feel like there's a lot of things that the average fan just doesn't really get. when it comes to linebacker play or just a defensive play in general when it comes to like plays like this. So I'm curious, just right off the bat, like what are kind of your keys against like a formation like this or against a team like Indiana? What are you kind of keying on to see whether it's a run play or a pass play?
Well, it all starts with your eyes. As a linebacker, we were taught to key the flow of the running back through the offensive line. So we'd get our initial read off the running back. So that tells you which way to step. And then your under key, the offensive line, gives you a better picture of what the actual play is going to be. In this particular play, there's an off tight end there. With his alignment being so wide, there's really no chance of him kind of coming back and blocking the play side end on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really completely off the running back here. I read, his initial step, kind of felt the air there and just, put my body on the ball.
Perfect. And then your defensive tackle here, I think this is, what's his name? He was in this last draft, I think, right? Or no, number 6. Who's this defensive tackle here? Do you know? Number 6, I think.
Tyron Vincent.
Yes, Tyron Vincent. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I swear I was looking it up beforehand, but he is really what helps you on this play here because the way that he's able to get his body on this center prevents him from climbing. Just how much easier does it make your life as a linebacker when you have a guy like that who can just eat up 2 blocks and maybe not even fully take away the center, but just slow him up getting to you so you can be quicker getting to the hole.
Yeah, so in this particular play, in zone, can you run it back, please?
Yeah. There we go.
So right here, the guard to Vincent's side and the tackle are actually zone comboing up from the 3 technique to me. So I know pre-snap that if it's a zone play that guard is going to come off of Vincent and climb to me. So he does an unbelievable job, as you pointed out, just kind of grabbing that guy, eating up those blocks, and that really makes my job, really easy here. Same thing with the nose there on the other side. I can't really see the number, but
I think it's 52.
52? Yeah, he again just does a great job, and I'm just there to fill the air. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I like about this play too, you kind of look like that linebacker drill they do at the combine. I don't know exactly what they call it, but where you have the 3 bags out and you're strafing down the line, punching the bag, getting low and stuff. I mean, basically what you're doing here is that exact drill, stepping up, getting low, moving across, freeing your hands. Do you kind of work on those kind of drills throughout practice at Ohio State and stuff to kind of keep low through the hole and work on your strafing?
Definitely. That's something we work every day. Footwork is really key as a linebacker because if you don't have a good base underneath you, your steps aren't quite right. You're going to end up either being out of power when you take on a block or missing a tackle. So that's definitely something that you work every day.
Awesome. Yeah, this is just great stuff up front. I mean, you guys dominate almost every opponent up in the trenches to start off, and then obviously all the linebackers that are going to get drafted this year fill in space. And kind of again here we have a similar situation. The guard is actually able to get a little bit more free here, getting the second level, but you do a really good job of ducking that block and getting to the spot. So just again here, like what are you kind of keying on this run right here that says, okay, this is going to come to my left or to the offense's right side?
Yeah, so similar to the last play that we got, I'm reading the tailback through the offensive line. The running back's initial path, starts me on my path. So we call this a slash course, so I can be on a 45-degree angle to match the path of the back. Again, here the tight end is wide, so there's really no threat of him falling back. So I'm really just completely off the tailback here. Slash footwork The ball is kind of out of phase of the climbing offensive guard, so I just try to slip them and get to the ball.
So when it comes to say Lyman's free getting to, I kind of hear like he's not completely free, but he's able to get to the second level here. Is it kind of like a play call thing before the play, or is it something that happens kind of in your mind, like I'm going to slip here, I'm going to engage? Like, how do you kind of know how to attack offensive linemen when they are able to get to you at the second level?
It's all reaction. It's all reaction here. Mid play, I kind of have a sense of where the ball is, and that determines whether I am to, engage that guy. Obviously, if the ball is right behind that offensive guard, I'm not going to run around and avoid that block. But with the ball being, still in the backfield, there's air there, there's space there. I feel that I can slip it. I'm going to slip it.
Yeah.
If I feel like I can't, I'm gonna engage him and get off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that's something you've kind of said a lot here is that filling air. Was that the big emphasis from your linebacker coach and also from just your defense in general for you guys as linebackers?
Particularly just these two plays. It just seems
Okay.
like we're traditionally a gapped out defense, so you're responsible for usually either the A gap or B gap in our defense.
Mm-hmm.
But in these, our 3 technique and our 1 technique do such a great job, of getting penetration and disrupting the play that you really end up just fitting the air.
Perfect. And then the last thing I want to ask about these plays here before we get to some pass coverage stuff is, guys like I'll bring up Baron Browning here because he's freaky athlete, super long arms where, you don't have the length that he does or even like the speed that he does. So how do you attack linemen, like knowing that you can't just win with your speed or win with your length? Is there are you kind of working like you said, like a lot of like lifting and stuff, working on your strength? Are you kind of working on those type of things to be better to hold up against this type of power?
I think it initially starts with, knowledge of the game, of football, being able to kind of anticipate and read and react. I feel like I use my eyes pretty well, so that's something that allows me to react quickly. Whereas a Baron Browning is a freak of nature. I'm able to kind of anticipate and cheat a little bit and get to where I need to be. As far as engaging blocks, when you're not as physically gifted as some of these other people, your technique has to be on point, and that's just something that I've worked on. I've continued to work on, and it's something that I will continually try to improve upon. You can never be too good at your technique, so that's just the world I have to live in.
Yeah, certainly. I wish we could all be Baron Brownings. It would make life a lot easier for
no doubt.
all of us. This one I had to throw in because really nice interception and also the big return here. So I like to keep it a little light on here. We're not going to do only scheme stuff. What was kind of going through your head here when this ball pops up in the air? Like, are you like, oh shit, I got to go?
Yeah, we're always talking about ball out break here. So I think the good thing about this clip, if you run it back, with the quarterback's drop, he gives me a direction, and it's a quick pass right now. And you'll see me first drifting off the shoulder of the quarterback.
Yeah, let me get back on that.
And breaking right as that front hand comes off the ball. So that's a pretty good break. And then good things happen when you're under the ball. So I think that's Sean Wade right there. Makes a great play, tips it in the air. And, just one of those fortunate things. You're in the right place at the right time, ball pops to you, and, you're able to make a play.
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys kind of turnover is just such a huge emphasis? I know it's huge for every single defense, but is that something that you guys even rep in practice at Ohio State, like turnovers?
Yeah, we talk about disrupting the football, and so we kind of have a segmented period in practice where we'll work on matching the hand of the quarterback when he's getting ready to throw. We'll work on stripping the ball from a ball carrier. We've done a tip drill like this before. Like, it's just always um, something to be conscious of, like, because offenses are too good now, and you have to find ways to even the playing field. And I think turnovers are a way to do that.
Yeah, definitely. So I brought you up with that last one, got your interception, and now we're going to get to one where you do everything right here, and that's why I wanted to include it, but just didn't finish the interception here. Just bounced right off your hands. I mean, I think, was this the playoff game too, right?
Yep, this was 2 years ago,
Yeah.
playoff game, and I obviously had a chance here to make a big play earlier in the game, and it hurts to talk about, but
Yeah.
it's one of those things. Just
yeah, you can't make every play, obviously. So I'm assuming this sucked, but I really wanted to look at the eyes again. It kind of goes with what you were just saying there. It's flowing with the quarterback, and even stuff like this where the last one it was kind of a one read and go. He took I think it was only like a one step drop and then he was throwing it. Here, Lawrence is actually taking, I think, a full. Let me see. It might be a full 3-step here. Yeah, around 3-step drop or whatever. Yep, and then you flow with it there. Is this basically just all film study here? Like, did you kind of feel this curl was coming? Because he's not looking at it all the way. He's a guy who's a pro quarterback playing in college. He knows what he's doing. He knows to look off. What was kind of giving the way this intermediate curl here?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, there was a tendency there with 2x2 to try and hit some quick throws to the field. So that's kind of what I was thinking pre-snap. So really my landmark here is, pretty much just in between the middle of the field and the hash mark.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working that way initially, but still with vision on the quarterback. His front shoulder takes me there. And again, this is a pretty good job breaking on the front hand coming off the ball.
Yeah, certainly. And you mentioned landmarks there. When it comes to zone drops and zone coverage, obviously you have a landmark that you're trying to get to on every single one, according to whatever the play is. But how important is it for you to, I don't want to say like venture off your landmark, but you also have to kind of be a football player. You know what I mean? Like you have to make those instinctual plays. For someone like you, was that something that was easier for you to kind of adjust to throughout your career? Like being able to, yes, I got to hit my landmark, but I can still make plays when my instincts are telling me something.
Yeah, I mean, this particularly like the defense these last 2 years was different than, kind of the quarters hard pattern match that, we ran my first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of a different philosophy, particularly with a lot of 3 deep. It's you have a landmark, but it's completely off the quarterback. You're working in the direction of your landmark, but when the quarterback's front hand comes off the ball, it's time to go. So it's not necessarily, oh, you need to get 10 to 12 yards. Oh, you need to get 12 to 14 yards, whatever it is. You're working in that direction. You're working with urgency to get to yard mark.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't get there and the quarterback takes you off of it, then that's what you need to do.
Perfect. And then this last one, just got a run stop here against Maryland. I think this was from 2019 as well. But I like this one here because you're playing kind of this outside, strong side type position here. You're lined up over that tight end, and you're able to flow back to the middle of the field and make that tackle for a loss. Now, was this your gap that you're responsible for, or was this just something that you kind of saw in their tendencies and you were going to fill that hole right there?
Yeah, so in this defense here, my gap is actually initially the D gap here. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
fitting in between the down tight end and the wing.
Yep.
But I know if that tight end falls back, which he does here in this case, then I have to fall with him. So that's why you see me fall into the A gap like I do. So pre-snap, if you run it back.
Yep.
This is a gun far formation, and teams have a tendency to run that split flow action like you see here. So I'm anticipating that pre-snap. Especially, I believe this was a 3rd and 1.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm anticipating that pre-snap, and my eyes are on the tight end, but they're kind of periphering the wing here. So he falls, I fall. Again, I'm right there to tackle it.
Definitely. And, teams that use this, I don't know what, I mean, every team calls it something different, sniffer tight end or off tight end, whatever. This tight end is key to identifying run plays. Is that kind of what you guys look at against teams like this, teams that run this type of offense? Like, you are IDing what this guy's doing, because most times he'll tell you, where the run action's going.
Yeah, I mean, definitely that guy tells you the story. If he's a little bit wider here in his alignment, he's probably not coming back. So you're going to get some type of either run to the weak side there, or whether some type of foot play or quarterback lead play, or you're going to get some type of wide zone action to him. But the tighter he gets, the higher the chance that it's going to be some type of split flow action like you see here. It's not. I mean, it's like I said before. We're back through the offensive line as linebackers at Ohio State, but you got to have an awareness of where that guy's lined up, and you got to be able to peripher him.
Yeah, absolutely. I just love the movement here, scrape down. And like you said, 3rd and 1, big play right there, and able to scrape down and make that play. That's huge. Get out of this because that's all the ones I've got. Get out of, stop share. All right, man, that was a blast. I always love talking with quarterbacks on the offense and also the quarterbacks on the defense, because you guys have to see so many things. Like. For someone like me, I try to watch as much as I can. I watch coach clinics all the time, try to figure out as much as I can about, but quarterbacks and linebackers are the ones where you have to see so much. Is it kind of like you have to compartmentalize like everything, I guess, as a linebacker, so what you're looking at every single play?
Yeah, I mean, there's a time to do that. I mean, you kind of got to take a mental picture in your head of what you see. But then at the end of the day, like, football is football. You can anticipate things, but then you still have to play it honest and read what you see as the play develops. So there's a little bit of a line there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did want to ask you, just because Ohio State guys, all these linebackers are studs. All of you guys. But I feel like you're kind of the slept-on one of the group. Do you kind of agree with me there? Like, you're not getting the hype maybe that your teammates are getting?
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I've been around some great players, and I'll let my actions in these next however long do the talking. So
awesome, man. Awesome. So my last question I like to ask pretty much every prospect I talk to, because a big part of the whole process isn't just what you're getting on the field, it's also off the field. It's the whole package, So I like to ask the players straight up, if my team were to spend a draft pick on you in this class, what am I getting just all around in my organization, on the field, everything? What am I getting?
I think you're going to get a team first player, whatever that role on that team is I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, whether that's at linebacker or at special teams. You're going to get a highly competitive guy who loves the game of football, and that's going to show in the way that he prepares in the film room, in the weight room, and the way he handles his business off the field. And you're going to get someone that's a leader and deeply cares about the organization and his teammates.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So Bills fans, draft fans, anyone checking this out, keep an eye on him this draft process. Like I said, I think he's the slept-on linebacker of that group. For some reason, I guess it's because there's like 5 of y'all in this class. I mean, there's a ton of y'all. But Ohio State linebackers typically have great success here at the next level. So keep an eye on Tuf Borland in this class. And thank you guys for tuning in. And thank you, Tuf, for sitting down with us. I love breaking down film with linebackers, especially ones who can go through their keys and their reads and everything like you just did. So I appreciate it, man.
No, thanks for having me. This is awesome and great experience.
Yeah. All right. You have a good one, buddy.
All right, you too.